Okay, now we're on to, it looks like slide 12 of the body PowerPoint. We're talking about the support that you do in terms of citation. So I do need one citation underneath each main point. It's a graded element in your speech. And I want your citations to come from library resources. We do have great resources. The ebooks are awesome here at College of Western Idaho. We have EBSCOhost, which is a great academic search database. And we have ebooks, EBSCO, and we have some great videos as well. So like Canopy, Swank, those kinds of things, some great videos. So I want you to get more in touch with your library resources. And that's what I want you to use underneath each main point. So underneath citation, main point 1 needs at least 1, main point 2 needs at least 1, main point 3 needs at least 1, and they need to be from different sources. So if you're doing a sports speech and you found something great from a book, I don't want that same book quoted under 2 and the same book quoted under 3. I want those citations to be unique. So 3 different sources. They can be from EBSCO. They could all be from Canopy, or they could all be from the ebooks, just not the same article or the same book, that kind of thing. All right, so when you do it, here's the important thing. You're going to put those citations and notate those in blue on your outlines. And that's because I want them to pop off the page for you when you're actually quoting your material, because it is the most common place that students lose their points. So let's imagine that your A point underneath the 70s was maybe the players. And so underneath there, you were going to talk about maybe Franco Harris. And then maybe underneath main point 2, you were going to talk about Mean Joe Green. I don't know what's going to happen when I do this. I'm just going to just see if the library even can help me here with these particular sources. I'm going to go ahead and open up our library and go to the ebooks, hoping to get a nice hit from the ebooks here. So I'm going to go current students and then library. And then I'm going to search in the books, and I'm going to go Franco Harris and search for that and see if there's any books. It looks to me like, okay, there we go. There is an actual book that I can get that's held by College of Western Idaho that I can actually get. It does not look, it's a print book. So one thing I like to do is immediately go to ebooks so that I can open up the book. What I'm getting here is some hits that look like they are not actually related to Steelers or sports for that. So I'm not going to get a hit immediately for Franco Harris, it doesn't look like. There is another print book that I could have the library order for me because it's libraries worldwide, but I really want it to be College of Western Idaho. And by the way, if I want to limit to only College of Western Idaho, I can also select it where it says keep selections for subsequent sources. And of course, while I'm here talking to you, looks like my internet is just currently being a little slow. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this in there where it's only going to be these that are being looked at. So it doesn't look like any ebooks are immediately available to me here. And it might be the same thing here with Mean Joe Green, but I should at least be encouraged that if I'm willing to drive to the library, I can find some things. Or just ask the library. You can use the request it feature and they'll shoot it to you. So if you start your research soon enough, they can actually literally mail it right to your home. So again, I don't see like Mean Joe Green. It doesn't look like it's immediately jumping out to me as Steelers related stuff. Now I would have another choice. If I'm being really specific, I could stop looking by these specific players and instead just look for Steelers as a general thing. And then within those books, I might be able to find something on Franco Harris or Mean Joe Green. So here's another print book that's available to me. And this is another book that has something in there held by CWI. So there's some promising things with that search, but I would say that probably not immediately. It doesn't look like ebooks are jumping out to me. I'm going to collect ebook there. First 50 years. Chances are this is not going to have stuff on the Steelers, but what I could do is just go to the view ebook and see if I get lucky. Okay, so 1 second, I'm going to pause this video Okay, so now I could just go ahead and read this book online. And once I'm in there, I can look at the index of the chapters that are here and see if anything jumps out. Or maybe what I could do is go just with my key term Steelers and see how many hits that I get. And there are some mentions, and it looks like maybe even there's a lot of stuff that's being covered here on pages 201 to 225. Let's go ahead and just really quick go Franco Harris. That was our original desire, was to find something. And there are supposedly 4 mentions of Franco Harris in this. So I'm going to jump to this. So maybe I'd want to be talking about the chasing of the probably 2,000 yards or maybe 1,000 yards. I'm not really sure, or consecutives, but we can see that Franco is being mentioned twice here, which if these are good things, that is good information, now I can actually put those in my speech and quote it as, according to the book, The National Forgotten League, entertaining stories and observations from football's first 50 years, blah, 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 schmickety schmack about Franco Harris. Okay, so I need you to use library resources in your speeches, main point 1, main point 2, main point 3. And again, if you get started early, they will actually ship you these books. There was lots of Steeler stuff that was coming up, but I probably would have needed them to mail that to my house. And it doesn't cost me anything to get them to mail it, and they'll put back a self-addressed envelope too for me to be able to send it back to them. So that's great. Get started early and you'll be in great shape. Yeah, orally cite it. So it doesn't help that you put it on your outline. It's got to be on your outline to remind you to orally cite it. So when it comes time for your outline on here, let's imagine that this is Franco Harris. What you would do is, and I don't remember the exact title of that book right now, but I think it was The National Forgotten League, and then something about entertaining stories. You know what I mean? So if you'll forgive me for not doing the whole title right now, I'm just going to try to give you the example. So I could say underneath this, go ahead and take this away from being bold. And by the way, when I'm doing my outline, I don't want the A's and the B's to be bold and stuff like that either. So that would be a fix that I should have done on my earlier examples, is showing you not to bold everything. Oh boy, I am just have a hard time not having things as a good example for you, but hopefully you get the idea. And then underneath there, what you'll do is go ahead and highlight that in blue. Now, why does Johnny want you to highlight it in blue? Well, if it's here and you highlight it in blue, number one, when I'm grading your outlines, if I see a blue underneath main point 1, blue under 2, and blue under 3, that tells me that you do have a plan to cite underneath each main point. And then in addition, when you start delivering, it makes it much more likely that you're actually going to deliver it because it's in blue and it pops off the page a little more. The most common point students miss on their speeches is forgetting to orally cite. You do the research, but then forget to actually orally cite it. Having it on the page is a good start, but it's not enough. It needs to be on the page, and you need to orate it during your speech. Okay, so I hope that helps you with your oral citations of your speech.